Hi guys, just before we start, it would be a good idea if you watch this video all the way through from start to finish. Just sit there in a quiet space with your Nintendo Switch and some tools and just watch the whole thing, and then go back to the beginning if you're not sure, and hopefully you will get to the end and it'll work. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Colin James Poulter here once again, and today I'm going to show you how to repair a Nintendo Switch's analog joystick. Okay, so we have a Nintendo Switch here. Works perfectly alright, apart from, as you can see, the joystick or Joy-Con analog joystick has broken off. I did do a little bit of a repair. As you can see, I drilled a hole in the base and a hole in the twiddly bit and put a pin in and glued it, but it's just failed, which, you know, it lasted a while, but it's failed. So we had a Nintendo Switch which electronically is no good. It's just dead, completely dead. So what I've done, I've taken it all apart, as you can see, screws and bits everywhere, and I've managed to salvage the analog joystick, which, as far as we know, is working perfectly. So I'm going to put that into this one. So I'm going to show you how to take it all apart step by step and get it working, and hopefully you should be able to follow all the little bits on the video. It's not too bad a job, you just got to be very careful with it because there's small parts and on the joystick motherboard there is very small connectors, and there's these little clip things you got to flip up so that you can pull the ribbon cable out. So you have to disconnect all those ribbon cables and one plug in the edge there, which is the connection for the left hand speaker. But it's not too bad. Basically all you need is a very small, where is it, there it is, very small flat bladed screwdriver. You're going to need a decent pair of tweezers, something like that, which are angled to actually get hold of the ribbon connectors and tug them out. And then you're going to want a precision Phillips screwdriver bit, because the screws are tiny, as you can see down here. They're very small, and obviously they go in certain order. The black ones are the case ones, and then you've got some different lengths of screws there, but I'll show you, it's not too bad. So because the parts are small, and I could set the camera up on a tripod, but the thing is you probably won't see properly what I'm doing, so I'm going to hold the camera and do each bit. So step one. It'll be okay guys. So if you look on your Switch where the charge port is, if the camera will focus, it will, bear with it, it's trying to, is it going to focus? It's focusing on it, there we go. Right, there's two screws each side of the charge socket, and then if we go round we can just check to see if there's any more. There's a screw there, look, and there's a screw there, see the little black screw, and then underneath on the edges there's two more screws, and there's two that end. Okay, so the first step is to remove those screws, which we will do now. So I'm going to try and do this best I can with the camera. So we're going to go in on this one and we're going to take all these screws out. So what I do is I remove the screws where I've just showed you, and then I'll be back for the next step. Okay, once you've got all the screws out, that's those two by the charge power socket, and the two that side, and there's two on the back. Okay, so once you've got all those undone, the next step is to split the case, which I've done here, got this far. Okay, and to do that you go to the basically the speaker side. So if I turn the switch around up the right way, you've got the buttons at the top, the white ones. Well, on the charge socket side, that's the side of the case you want to split first. So in order to do that, I've got one of these mobile phone plastic things. It's a stiff plastic triangle there with lips, a bit like a guitar plectrum. If you've got a guitar plectrum, then that would do. Maybe a bank card, but don't use one that's in date because you could wreck it. Or a thin piece of plastic, something you can get in the slot, you know, in the case in here. Okay, so I just went from the where the speaker outlet is and just took that along the edge there. It's clipped in and it just pops apart. A little bit fiddly, but you can actually get it to pop apart. And then you don't have to really work your way down here much. You just go for the corners, push it in there, get it around the corner, and then you'll find it will just pop apart. And then once you've got it to that stage, basically just pull. Don't be afraid, you can't break anything, and then it just falls apart like that. So there you go, there's the underneath of your switch. So we'll just put that to one side, nothing falls out. And there's the case, the back case. You can just put that to one side for now. Then we need to concentrate on this bit. Here comes the fun part. Cooling fan goes round and round, alright. So we've got to determine which side to replace our switch or analog joystick, and it is on the left hand side. So we turn it over. So I now know it's this bit we've got to take apart and end up with something like that. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do, which is a very good procedure. Now hopefully I'm going to be able to get in here. Can we see that? I'm not sure. I'll try and do it the best I can, guys. There are, if I get out the shadow, there's two black. I wonder if I can zoom in a little bit. Let's go away. Can I zoom in? Is it going to work? I want to get in as close as I can, obviously. Right, you want to flip these two up like that. See that? Just a flat blader and flip those two up like that. And with a pair of tweezers you should be able to remove these ribbon connectors. Now you're going to have to do that with those two. And what I'll do while I'm here, I will go in with a pair of tweezers, just gently underneath like that, and then just pull. There you go, that's one. And then we've got to come the other side with the tweezers, just get under that connector and then just pull. There you go. So that's two. There's one around here somewhere. Right, same thing. This is the speaker plug, which has got to come undone. And as you can see, we've got to get underneath this black. Sorry about that. Just lift it up. I'm trying to do this best I can, guys. I think it's gone up. Yes. Just make sure that it has lifted. There you go. That is up. So now I can go in with the tweezers. Find out. There we go. Just go under the ribbon cable, clamp it down, just pull. There you go. That's that one. Now you want to. Now what you're going to do? You want to have to do the speaker plug, which is that white plug there. Now I wouldn't recommend getting hold of the wires and pulling it, because you'll end up, if you grab hold of the wires, try to pull it out, you could risk pulling the cables out of the plug. So what you need to do, you need to get hold of the actual plug itself. So you could get under there with a pair of tweezers again, like that. It's going to be difficult for me to film this, guys, and actually show you taking it out, but I'll do my best. So get under the plug, and then hopefully that didn't work. I'll have to disconnect that off camera because I can't do it with one hand holding the camera at the same time, but you get it. This white plug has got to come out. I mean, if you've got fingernails, you could go under and just do it like that. There you go, that's that disconnected. So if you've got some fingernails, which I've just about got some, you can get under that plug on this side, get your nail underneath it. There's a little lip, see the lip there on the back of that plug? There's a little lip. You can get under there and just pull it up. So once you've done that, what you need to do now is remove some screws. Right, let's zoom in a little bit if I can. I can't, I need a camera with a macro on it. I'll set the macro setting. Right, that board has got to come out, which it will do now. There is one last connector, which is this one here. Let me whiz round. This connector, that's got to be disconnected. Where is it? This ribbon cable here has got to come out. So the best way to do that, hang on, I'll be right back. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, sorry about that, guys, we're back. Right, okay. So in order to get this ribbon cable out, see this white strip here? That has got to be lifted up. Very similar to lifting these little kiddies up. So again, you can use your thumbnail if you can get in there, or a fingernail, anything that's flat. Don't try and do it from one end because you'll break it. So I'm just going to go in with my fingernail, and there you go. Just very gently lift that tab up. It comes up quite easy. You don't have to force it. You just need to get something between it and the ribbon cable to lift it up. And then once you've done that, you can then disconnect the ribbon cable, which we will do now. So I'm just going to go with my tweezers very gently like that, get hold of it and just pull, and there it is. Ta-da! Right, that is it. Bearing in mind, guys, when it all goes back together, you've got to reconnect this stuff. But with a pair of tweezers, if you haven't got a pair, I'd highly recommend you get a pair like that. Anti-static electronic tweezer set. In fact, you can get one from Lidl, and here it is. Something like that. Parkside tweezer set. They're ESD. There we go. Let me just show you that, guys, if it will focus. Hang on. There you go. So, yes, very useful. Right, now to get this out, we're going to have to remove some screws now, guys. So you don't have to remove these because they're the speaker covers, but you will have to remove this one and these along here. You're going to have to remove that one, that one, that one, that one. You're going to have to take that one out. Now, did I remove? Well, this is the one I removed. So as you can see, you only have to remove that one and the one under here, under my finger. So if we translate that to there, wherever it's gone, come back. We only have to remove that one and the one under here. Come here, out of the way. Where are we? There we are. Just remove that one and that one. See how you get on. See how far you get. I mean, without repeating myself, just go through it again. That one, 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 and I think that one under there as well. Can you see it? Because funnily enough, oh, there isn't one there. Sorry guys, I've just taken the cable completely away and it's just an injection moulding mark. Right, we'll see how you get on with that. I'm going to do the same this end, and we're going to see how we get on. Let me just check, make sure that's disconnected. It is. Right, good luck guys, be right back. Hi guys, I'm back. I thought I'd do this step by step. So once you removed this single screw which holds this speaker unit down and also secures the motherboard at the bottom for the Joy-Con, this component then basically just lifts up like that and then comes out. So there you go, that's the speaker, one of them. So we put that to one side. The next step is to remove the rest of the screws, which is this one, this one, this one and these two. So I shall do that and be right back. Okay, I've removed all the screws I can see there so far, and this bit will now come out like so. So just be a bit careful, that shouldn't all fall apart, but put that to one side. Right, the next step, looking at it, I think we can lift that board out. Oh, there's one more screw I forgot. Look, can you see it? That one there. I'll just remove that one and then we should be able to take the board out. Right, there we go. And here he comes. Right, that should be the last one. Now from this end we should be able to lift this board all the way out. There it goes. And then we can put that to one side. And the final bit, we've actually got down to the joystick. So you want to remove that screw there and the opposite screw there, and then that should lift out. Make sure that you take a note of its orientation. So the ribbon cable is here, so that's the way it goes in and comes out. Right, I'm going to undo those two and be right back. Okay, I've lifted the end of the switch up a little bit so you can see better. So now I've undone those two screws and we should be able to just get hold of that now and lift it out. So I'm just going to grab the ribbon cable and there it is. There's our broken analog joystick. So now it's all in reverse. We just grab the new stick, which is this one, and we're just going to put it all back together. Yeah! So we're just going to do everything in reverse now. I'm just going to pop that back in there. Obviously make sure the ribbon cables are out of the way. Oh no, that's there. There's a ribbon cable in the way there, guys, so I just got to hook him out of the way. A bit of hickory pokery. It's back in, just like that. Oh, sorry guys. There we go, so that's the new stick back in. I'll put the two new screws in and then put the little motherboard back in. And I'll be right back when I've done that. Bear in mind guys, just make a mental note or a written down note of which screws come out and in which order. I mean, there's quite a few, but remember the black ones go around the case, and remember which ones come out. There are long ones and short ones. Same with the silver screws that hold the switch down, the analog joystick there, short ones. And just make a note. I'll do my best to remember which ones go in, but I basically take things apart and just somehow remember how they go back together. I don't know how, but there are screws that are slightly longer than others, so when you do take it apart, just make a note of which screw lengths came from what position. So you can do that. You can watch this video first and then go back through and methodically even pause the video, do a bit, then watch a bit more. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to screw that joystick back in its home and be back with you. Hi guys, I'm back. We're getting somewhere. These two screws are the ones you want to put back in first, just so it holds this board down, which makes it easier to handle, you know, like putting these little ribbon cables back in. The best way to put the cables back in is get your tweezers. There's the cable. It goes in a little slot just under here. Right, be careful guys. Find the slot, which is very difficult to do on the camera. And then just push it in and make sure it's all the way home. So in other words, when you push it in, you'll feel it move up in the slot and it won't go any further. You want about that much travel. So if you go around and put the cables back in, and then don't forget these little black things you want to push down to lock it. Okay, right, I'll be back when I've done all that. Okay guys, as you can see, the ribbon cables are reinserted back into their sockets and the tabs are down. So once you've done that, all you've got to do is reinstall the speaker unit, which is this little kiddie here. So he just goes under this ribbon cable like that, and then with a bit of hickory jiggery pokery we should be able to get it. Did it go like that? No, I can't remember which way around it went. I think it goes under here and it just slots in. There we go, like that. It just had to go over the back here and drop down. I'm pretty sure the ribbon cable went like that. Almost had to look back at my own video then, but yeah. So once that's down, you got this little tiny connector to put in the hole. Make sure you get that right way around so the tab, the little tab on the plug. See how the plug's like got a little step on it just there? Well, that obviously has to face the way you took it out, which is, oh, it's difficult to hold the camera and plug that back in, guys, but I'll get back to you once I've done that and then I can show it to you. But I've got a screw to put in there, see it, to secure this bit. It's just one screw, and plug the speaker wire in, so I'll be right back. There you go, guys, so it goes in with the positive to the left and the negative to the right, and that is towards the speaker, is the blue, and the red is towards the joystick. And you can just see the little angle there on the plug that we pulled it out with in the beginning. I hope that helps. Right, so we've got everything back together, everything's connected, all looks good, so all we've got to do now is just put the rest of the motherboard screws in, and I do know that that one there is a long screw. It's just the one that holds the speaker unit down. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the rest of the screws in, one there and one there. I think that is all we need. We did secure that one under there, didn't we? I think we did. Well, pretty sure we did, yes. Right, I'm going to put the rest of them screws in. So we should have, there's 4 motherboard screws left, and I can only see 3 holes, which is very strange. I'm wondering whether I've probably been a bit too enthusiastic at putting this ribbon connector in. There's a screw hole under there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just pop this out, easy, and then I'm going to replace the screw there, do the other 3, and then all we should have left then is some case screws, and I'll be right back. Hi guys, yes I did, look, I got so enthusiastic of actually connecting this ribbon, I forgot to put that screw in that hole. So you need to put one in there, and where was the other one? One in here. So that's 1, 2, 3, and there's one just under there that's hiding 4. See that one right there. So I'm going to put them in, well I'm going to put them in, get that connected, and I'll be right back with you. There we go guys, everything screwed back, connected up as it was before we took it all to bits. Next thing is the case, which should be the easy part. Right, so because it's going to be difficult for me to actually get the case on and video at the same time, and we might get away with it, look. So I would take it off in the same way as you, sorry, I should put it back on in the same way we took it off. So I'm going to spin it around, and then it's just a case of hang on, there's a bit missing. There's a bit missing that fell off, I think, which is this bit, which just, no dear, which just sat in there. That's got to go on there. Right, this bit fell off guys, so I'm going to just put this back on. I'll be right back. Okay guys, this is a good step-by-step instruction, because I've even tripped myself up. This Z left switch, do you remember towards the beginning we had to take it off by removing these 2 screws, which also held the motherboard on to a certain degree. So for that to go back on, I've got to just pop those 2 screws out, put him on, and then put the 2 screws back. So I'm going to do that now and be right back. Okay, sorry about that. But if you'd watched the video all the way through, you would have seen the error of my way, like I saw the error of my way just then. So just bear in mind that ribbon cable that runs through the side is not pinched. Can you see that? And that is it guys, that is that unit back together now we can get the back on where I was just now. Okay guys, we're ready to put the case on. Now, top tip here is you angle the case up, so like the switch is that way round, and what you've got to do is angle the case up like that, and you've got to get it over the ZR button before you clip it along this edge. Okay, so I can't do it because I've got two hands tied up, but basically you lift the case on an angle like that, you put it over the ZR button and then guide that edge along so it clips in, and once it's clipped in you can then push the corners down and it will just snap back together like that. And basically apart from putting the case screws on, that is it. There's our new analog stick connected up, so we just got to put the case screws in now. Make sure all your buttons and switches are where they should be, because these plastic things, as we know, do fall out. Hopefully they won't do to you what they did to me. So the first two screws are these two by the charge power port. They're short ones, so we're going to put them in, and the rest are long ones, guys. Just basically screw them in, screw them down, don't over tighten them, and that should be it. These two are two short screws, short black ones. Ones underneath each side are long, and the two there at each end are long ones. Right, so now that is done, all we've got to do is power it up and see if it works. Now, I'm not sure if we got a full charge on this or not, but we shall see. We shall see. No, it's as flat as a pancake, so no, well, right, I'm going to give that a charge and be back in a while.
Watching these videos makes me worry about the future.
What future? At our age, tomorrow's a long shot.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.